So yeah, I like it. And there's more. I wonder, what could I possibly make out of this car that would be cooler than a base thing? Those kind of look like legs. Oh, those are starting to look more and more like legs. And this thing is... That kind of looks like a tail. And I wonder what else could be done to make this thing look like something. Oh yeah, a dinosaur head. So there you go. Here's to me is his redeeming thing. He's got the car, the dinosaur head, you know, with a little articulation in the head, and actually the jaw opens up, which is just a little bit, which is, so you can see that it's kind of cool. He's actually got little molded teeth that I'm not even going to try to zoom in on. Oh, and don't forget that the Turboroid can ride in his colon. How cool is that? A dinosaur that you can ride in their bowels. That's like a, you know, a fetish in the making there. These legs, I mean, they don't move at all. You can actually, you know, you can put them there so it looks like he's laying down. You can peg them so that only, you know, one peg is on there, and actually get a little bit of articulation, but that's actually not bad right there. But it's not really good, and you're not going to be able to get any. Well, actually, that's not too bad. I was going to say you're not going to be able to get anything good out of that, but you know, maybe it's better than nothing. But for display purposes, probably most of the time you're just going to have them pegged in like they're supposed to be. This mode, I really like this. It's good and sturdy. It's a good dinosaur. He has cannons on his tail. Oh, he also has a head on his ass. I don't like that. So, what I like to do is actually... well, you can do it. Maybe... I'm not sure which way I like it, but you can actually do like that. He has sort of a bump in the tail. So maybe I do like this better. Or maybe you can flip it down like this. Is that how it's... I think it's actually supposed to go up. And, you know, you can move it down a little more, and... This actually looks better from every angle except for one you can see the head from. So, I think we've redeemed the brick now. But there's more. Now that we've redeemed the brick, we have to give you some reason to actually want this figure. And to do that, we are going to rip everything off the brick and put it back here for later because we're totally going to use it. And then, you know, we're just going to start attaching things and see where this goes. I hesitate because I'm not sure what to do. So, we have our old Turboroid, not to be confused with Hemorrhoid, and we give him some big stilts. And because of that, we have to raise the camera up a little bit. And we give him, you know, this big gun thing to attach and this big dinosaur thing. And to top it all off, we give him a chest plate. There's actually a peg that folds out right here. And this pegs in, just like that. So he has a super robot mode. Oh, here's what the brick is for. This is not official. This is the one that I thought really hard about to bring you. He can stand on it. Isn't that cool? He can stand on this block. Oh god, what an amazing feature. These actually rotate at this joint right here, like was from the turrets. This rotates. He can actually flip around this dinosaur head to be a gun. I actually like the dinosaur head. It looks like a... Who wouldn't want to have a dinosaur head for an arm? The bad thing is that these things will actually move. But they did come up with a solution for that. There's a little flip-out peg here that just flips out, and it's actually going to peg into his arm, his fist, while the main peg pegs into his chest. And now, as you see, well, I was going to just hold on to the brick, but I guess I have to hold on to the torso. You know, this This doesn't move his arms. This one, however, still does because the peg broke. Be careful taking these pegs out. I think the best way to take them out is to rotate both the arms forward together so it pops out of the chest, and then maybe wiggle them out. Anyway, so yeah, mine broke. I haven't glued it back on yet. You don't really need it, but I kind of miss it. It actually broke the very first time I assembled them and tried to take that off. So, just be careful. So there you have him. Just a quick look at the parts. You have two kinds of wheel and or leg parts. A bunch of holes in the back. These are actually lined up just perfectly for a folded up Mugenbine. The bad part about these is this has a peg here, and this has a slot, and this has a peg. But they don't line up right. Instead, they line up like this. So except for the official way, it's actually really hard to get these pieces where both wheels line up right. And that's actually a theme with a lot of the parts that have wheels on them, is you can't get them to line up with other parts that have wheels on them, except for the official configuration. This is a dinosaur head. It's not much more than that. Once you see the dinosaur head, you're always gonna be thinking about the dinosaur head inside the cannon. But it's pretty cool. It's got a joint there. I mean, I think it's best used as a dinosaur head. It's pretty good. Who doesn't want a dinosaur head? Both of these parts have rotating pieces. So they're good for anything that you want, anything rotating on them. And they have some pegs on them. Again, this has the 4 pegs for any folded up Mugenroid. This one does too. They have, you know, pegs and slots on the side. They can actually connect like that. And each one of them has 2 pegs on the other side, which are spaced out for a Mugenroid arm or leg. This is a water cannon piece. There's, don't know what else you're going to do with that. This is pretty much only a cockpit, but it's actually got, it doesn't have the 4 holes. It's got 2 holes and then just areas that pegs fit in. They actually don't lock into place, but they fit there. And that fold-out peg, and then these guys, remember, be careful. And 2 in the back. You already know about this guy. This piece is not officially, doesn't have an official use for this head, but it does have a big head. What I like about this piece is, unlike a lot of heads, is it actually has a pretty good way to cover it up, because these pegs will flip forward, and now pretty much anything that has a typical 4-hole layout will cover up almost all the face. Or if it has a slightly different layout, you know, it covers up like the whole thing and you're just left with the gun. And I really appreciate that, because some of the figures, they don't cover up the face as well. I guess, you know, if you really wanted to, you could substitute the brick for the Mugenroid and make a... Do I need to go any further? You can make him a terrible abomination using this head. I'm not going to go any further. It's a pretty cool head, though. And that's all the parts. I actually like this guy. I don't like most of them in this line, but this one's actually pretty fun. So, get him.